There's a storm brewing at Energia Park in Dublin, and it's not about the weather. It's about the second and final game of the 2020 Club International Series between Ireland clubs and Scotland clubs. Ireland are in the driving seats after last week defeating Scotland 39 points to 17 away from home, and it looks like they probably will retain the Dalriada Cup unless Scotland win by 23 points. In the commentary box today with me is Morgan Lennon, the former Ireland club's head coach. Morgan, good evening.
Good evening, Justin. I'm really excited about this tonight now. It's a really good Irish club side with a really good lead from last weekend. But I know from experience the Scottish side are going to be excellent. They're going to come out all guns blazing. They have some excellent players. The Bickerstaff brothers were really dangerous last weekend. So Ireland are going to have their hands full, particularly in the first 20 minutes. It's an exciting moment now as the teams take the field.
And everyone knows that strange things can happen in the game of rugby. Ireland, 22 points to advantage, Morgan. How does Scotland approach this?
Well, it's interesting now that the weather has dried up a little bit. I mean, the surface is going to be greasy, but they're going to have to just play from the start here. Last year, they opened up a 7-point lead in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, which really put us under pressure from the start. So they're going to have to go here from the very beginning and hope to score early and build a lead.
James Taylor will get this fixture underway. He was brilliant in the game last week. Tuel Chanini is the man in the middle today with the whistle. Taylor with a deep kick into the 22. Scotland look to clear. And that is a decent clearance there, Morgan.
Nice and tidy by Scotland to start with. First line out now is crucial for Ireland. If they can build some momentum off this. Very good hooker in Max Abbott. Very experienced. There's some good experience throughout that Irish pack. So that'll really stand them in good stead now coming into this.
So Abbott to feed for the first line-out of the game. And they go to the captain, Kennedy. Here's Hehir and Foley now. And Derham, the number 8, had a good game last week as well. Tough at ruck time, and Hehir, some tricks there, Morgan.
Yeah, Aran looked to go quickly there, but kind of faked over the ball. Not ideal for Scotland, for Ireland to get an early penalty here now. James Taylor's going to have a shot.
So James Taylor, 7 points in the fixture last week. And he set up the try, the opening try of the game last week from his own 22. And then fed Bryan Fitzgerald for a classic score. And he has an important kick here to draw first blood for Ireland.
James is an excellent goal kicker. We played at UCC in the playoff final last year where he kicked 26 points in the game. He was absolutely outstanding, so I'd expect him to kick this.
Taylor. And not his best kick. So Scotland dodge a bullet there.
Really good effort by James. It was a 45-metre kick. So they just need to retain the ball now for a few phases and put Scotland under a bit of pressure.
Aran McColm. It's a rough sort of a kick. An easy one for James Taylor. And he likes to attack the line. The fly off. Hehir. Skips out Foley and Conor Maguire, try scorer last week. They got numbers on the left, do Ireland. Crashing it up there is Matthew Byrne. And Hehir to Foley once more. Been heavily involved so far in the fixture. Keating. And he's met hard in the tackle by Scotland. Hehir walks to the short side. And Taylor stabs it downtown. So a tester here for Mollison. But he takes safety first.
Unlucky by James there. It was a really good idea. Keep the pressure on Scotland, put them back in their own 22. Really good kick, but just on the Astro when there's been some poor weather, it just skidded across the floor.
McColm. This time it's much better, some more distance, but it's back for Hehir and Heuston with the up and under. The Garryowen fullback almost does so well, and here comes Scotland. This is where they're exceptionally dangerous. Great play there by Mollison. Scotland about 25 metres out, and they work the short side. Was that the correct decision? Mollison did really well there to make use of the opportunity, the fullback. And here goes Nathaniel Colm. Played on the bench last week. And Gregor Christie now. The scrum off. So looking to stay composed are Scotland. And that's a massive collision there by Island clubs. Good play by Fernal. Scotland clubs through Gary Strain. The prop forward. Gregor Law with a pick and go. And do Ireland have this one? Scotland clubs, looks like they still have it. So phase after phase, can they make it count, Scotland? The forwards happy to just take it up. And Morgan, they've got to make it count here.
Yeah, absolutely. They've gone a lot of phases there without very much ground. Ireland defence around the fringe has been excellent. And well done, an excellent penalty. An excellent turnover there by Andrew Keating. Got on the ball very quickly and turned the ball over. Great relief of pressure there by Irish clubs.
Great defence by Island clubs. And James Taylor will look to relieve some pressure. And Ireland will be very cautious, Morgan, of the attacking abilities of Scotland clubs. But that was an exceptional kick.
Yeah, absolutely. Great clearance by James Taylor there. But you can see already from Scotland that they're willing to attack from everywhere. They've made a great line break there through their number 15, Grant Mollison. And he was quite unlucky not to link up with somebody who would have gone in under the sticks, to be quite honest. But really good turnover by Andrew Keating.
Abbott with the feed. Well taken there by Melia. And Derham, the number 8. Hehir to Conor Maguire. The loose head prop. Hehir once more. Man of the match last week, Taylor. And now Heuston almost breaking the line. James Taylor and Keating. They call him Panda, the tight head prop. Ireland also looking good with the ball in hand. Good play by Derham. Here, wonderful pass to Melia and Abbott and Hayes. And back there for Byrne. Good play by Ireland. It's Taylor. And the captain, Alan Kennedy, knocks it on. And Mollison again, the dangerous player, gets the offload away brilliantly there to Fergus Scott. And now it's Cullen Young, the left winger. Was in the Dubai Sevens and Cape Town Sevens squad a few weeks ago. Whoa. Tough one there for Gregor Law. Scotland inside their 22. And that's not a bad kick by Christie and Ireland through Matty Byrne. Straight into contact he goes. A great leg drive. Ireland looking serious. Taylor and Pa Ryan, the outside centre. Here. And Heuston popping up in the line. That's a brilliant offload there. And unfortunately for Ireland, just couldn't hang on to it, but some great rugby so far,
yeah,
Morgan.
Really excellent game to start with. Some excellent work by the Irish back row, 6 and 7, Mikey Melia, and also John Foley there on the 22 to stop Scotland from getting out of their own 22, made them kick it away, and then some very good carrying to start with by Matt Byrne too. Really good. First scrum of the game now. This is going to be interesting. Big Irish front row against the dominant what are often a dominant Scottish pack. But it'll be really interesting to see Max Abbott and Andrew Keating now, see how they hold up on at hooker and blindside.
Gregor Christie to feed for Scotland. Scrum under pressure, but it's there for Christie. And Motherson now throws the dummy to Bickerstaff. Also in that Scotland 7 squad. And good carry. Christie looking to put pressure on Heuston, but he takes it well.
Very surprised the Scottish are kicking the ball away from there when they've got a 20-point deficit to make up. They had a decent blindside there. I think they probably were numbers up on this side. I'm surprised that they kicked the ball away, to be honest. Great ball by Jamie Heuston.
Superb by Jamie Heuston. His brother Gavin Heuston won the All-Ireland Junior Cup 2 weeks ago with Kilfeacle. So Fergus Scott, an experienced hooker. A bag of tricks there. Gregor Christie, eyes lighting up, but he meets Keating, the tight head prop, who makes an exceptional tackle. McDougall with the pass that time, and then Muir offloads it. Christie, McColm, and Bickerstaff, the stocky inside centre. Scotland have space on the left. A good carry there by Muir. And Christie with a massive box kick. Heuston doesn't make use of it. It's a Scotland net gain to Scotland, Morgan.
Yeah, they kicked it again from halfway. Made about 15 metres because Ireland didn't gather the kick. It's getting kind of wet and slippy out there now, so it's going to be tough to play. And Jamie Heuston's going to have his hands full, I'd say, if they keep playing like that, along with the back three. But they're experienced, the three guys in the back three, so you expect them to be able to deal with it. But that was a good kick by the Scottish 9.
So Scotland with an opportunity to build a platform here. Can they make it count? One gets the feeling that they need a sense of belief about them. It's a solid scrum. McDougall at the back. Pops it to Christie and Bickerstaff now. The inside centre runs straight into his opposite number in Fitzgerald. And that's a hard run by Fernal, tackled by Foley and Co.
Oh.
And McColm makes a hash of that. It's picked up by Bickerstaff. 2 tries in the fixture last week. He was dynamite. Christie and Muir, the loose head prop. And great run there by Wallace Nelson, the big open side flanker. Bickerstaff spotting an opportunity. He does exceptionally well there. Just couldn't hang on to it, but Scotland still have the play. Scrappy stuff at the moment. McComb. And this could be trouble, but we're going to come back for the earlier infringement. Decision time, Morgan.
I think they have to go for the corner. I'm not sure what they're thinking here, but I think they really have to go for the corner here and put some pressure on Ireland. Unfortunately, John Foley's down with a bit of a bang on his shoulder, it seems, at the moment. They won't want to lose him because he's been ultra physical in the first 10 or so minutes. Both teams really going hammer and tongs. It's a proper game of rugby here now at the moment. Yep, Scotland gone to the corner here. So first defensive set for Ireland inside the 22. There's going to be a bit of delay in play as they tend to John Foley. But this is a big moment now in the game, I think, to see whether Scotland can actually execute and get a lead in the first half here before try and claw back some of those 22 points.
Also, Morgan, a challenging time in the year for a fixture and a series like this.
Yeah, it is, but I think that the players are the ones that lead it, really. They really want to be involved at this level, and it's been a fantastic series the last 3 or 4 years, the years I was involved and these years with Garryowen and James. It's been, the players really want to be involved, they're enthusiastic, they don't mind coming up and having the camps and getting involved, they really enjoy it. So it's a massive honour for them to represent their country, you know, and the clubs around the country in particular.
Fergus Scott. And that, they let it off the hook, Scotland and Ireland. Can they get away with it now? They have the opportunity to.
Probably a big moment where momentum is concerned there, I think. They went for the big throw to the back. They were clean at the back. If they'd won it, probably Ireland would have been under pressure, but ball came in crooked from Fergus Scott, unfortunately.
So Ireland clubs, the scrum inside their own 22, and they've got the penalty as well.
Yeah, interestingly, Scotland are playing 4 up in the defensive line there, and their back line off that scrum, which is interesting because they're leaving a lot of space on over the Scottish left winger's head. So if James can find some space there, they might get some joy. Another great kick by James Taylor, another 35-metre relieving kick. It's really excellent, really takes the pressure off.
A lot of pressure relieved there. Taylor with a great kick. So Abbott will feed Conor Maguire coming over to him to give him some words. Hayes with a great take. Hehir and Foley again. So quite a few carries so far for Ireland clubs. It's Melia and Taylor. Great play. Matthew Byrne. And Kennedy now says, follow me, the captain. Over the advantage line. And Foley really likes the contact. Here. Good short ball there to his skipper. And Kennedy. James Taylor. And Paul Ryan looking to bust the line. Hehir and Derham, the number 8. Making plenty of meters here. It's Kennedy once more. That's a great leg drive by Alan Kennedy. And Taylor met hard in the tackle there. But at the moment, for Ireland clubs, it's good ball retention. Melia with the carry. Back on the inside to Derham from Hehir. Penalty to Scotland. Exceptional defence, Morgan.
Yeah, good defence. Ireland got on the front foot there a number of times. Big carries by Alan Kennedy and John Foley. And an excellent carry initially from Pa Ryan. Really good ball retention, really good accuracy at the breakdown. Just got a little bit unlucky maybe there. Just kind of their own players got in the way of the clear out, which allowed Scotland to get on the ball. The Irish line-out's been really excellent. Brian Hayes is no doubt, without doubt, one of the best line-out operators in the club game in the country. Really outstanding leader within that facet of the game. So he's going to have the Scottish line-out under pressure, especially as the last one went crooked.
Fergus Scott played for Glasgow Warriors, the hooker. Also represented Scotland at under 17, under 18 and under 20 level. And Strain now with the carry, the tight head prop. Christie has to neaten up at breakdown, and Hehir from an offside position there.
Yeah, Aran was really keen to get off the line and put the kicker under pressure there. They were setting up for a box kick. Unfortunately, he just kind of straight offside and kept going. But I can see what he was trying to do in the sense that he was trying to keep them under pressure and stop them from putting their game on Ireland by kicking the ball in the air. Just a little bit unlucky maybe. It looked like it kind of popped out first. But Ireland again had Scotland under pressure in the line out. They didn't win it all that cleanly. They looked like they were setting up for a maul, but Bryan and Alan Kennedy got in amongst it and stopped it from going anywhere.
Fergus Scott, and it's been poached by Ireland clubs. Abbott, the hooker for Ireland clubs, gathers the ball in their 22, and they look to exit through Jamie Heuston, and that ball's not out. Well taken there. And the kick from Christie. And Heuston once more. Well taken by Cullen Young, the left winger. Beats one. Almost beats Keating and gets the offload away brilliantly there. Scotland working the short side. Muir. And to Mitchell, the outside centre. Ireland clubs are like scavengers at the breakdown at the moment. The box kick again. It's contestable. And Heuston does enough to tap that one back. And great play there by Taylor. He's spotted acres of pace. Matthew Byrne is giving chase. Brilliant kick there. Scotland clubs under pressure. Superb space found there by James Taylor.
That's incredible by James Taylor. Little half break and off his weaker foot, off his left foot. Puts the ball 60 metres down into the corner. Absolutely fantastic kick. And what's even better about the kick is that the chase was excellent by Matt Byrne and Ryan and Brian Fitzgerald putting the Scottish winger into touch. So the pressure's really on Scotland now here to defend.
So Ireland clubs, can they take advantage of this now in the red zone? Looking for the first points to the game as they look to get the maul going here. And Scotland, stolen goods off that maul. And now they have a chance to get out of their 22. That's a great carry there by Wallace Nelson. Christie, it's been charged down. Really close there. Abbott had a chance, the hooker.
Yeah, 22 dropout. Interesting, Scotland chose not to engage the Irish maul. Very close to their own line to be playing that game, but they chose not to engage the Irish maul. And their second row got in and nicked the ball off Melia. Again, another excellent line out forward in the Irish setup. Really outstanding line out forward. So he won the ball well in the middle. It was a good setup, but unfortunately the Scottish second row got in amongst it.
McColm, a charge on again. Foley, well picked up by the big open side flanker. Hehir, lets it go to Ryan. And yes, Fitzgerald. And they will have the free play. Ireland clubs.
Yeah, again, a pretty loose tackle by the Scottish. They're kind of bringing pressure on themselves here at the moment. Pretty high tackle on Brian Fitzgerald. He actually got up and played on, and really good. And James got another opportunity to put them into the corner, put Ireland into the corner and have another go at that maul.
So he's still deadlocked here after about 20 minutes at Energia Park in Dublin in this 2020 International Club Series between Ireland clubs and Scotland clubs. Ireland with 22 points ahead in terms of aggregate. Melia with a great take. And now Ireland look to get the tank going. And they're edging closer to the line. It's looking promising here. They've got the free play as well. Hehir, Taylor, back on the inside. Beautifully done. Busting on the line here is Colm Hogan, and Ireland clubs get the first try of the game.
I can absolutely see why Scotland stood off that initial maul, because they really got themselves under pressure there that time when they engaged. Really well set maul, and then they got a free play for Scottish coming in the side. And a super pass by James Taylor to Colm Hogan round the corner. Colm showed great gas to get in in between the outside centre, Bickerstaff, and the Scottish winger. Really good try for Ireland, and that really puts them in a strong position.
Colm Hogan, former Ireland under-20 in 2017. And James Taylor has the opportunity now to add the extras. Taylor, he's dragged that to the right. So Ireland clubs 5, Scotland clubs 0 after about 22 minutes. And that was just the tonic that Ireland clubs needed.
Absolutely, Justin. Colm Hogan did really well to work off his right wing and come all the way around the corner, take the ball off James Taylor when he was actually quite isolated in the middle of the field, and showed great gas to get into the corner. So a really good score, and kind of the second entry for Ireland into the Scottish 22. So I think the Scottish would want to defend a little bit better than that if they're going to claw back this lead. But really good for Ireland now. They've put themselves in a great position.
McColm sends it into the 22, and Aran Hehir looks for distance, and it's a lovely kick by the talented scrum half.
Another super kick, really clean exit, no messing around after you've scored. Always the most dangerous time, really. So straight after you've scored, Aran's just caught the ball and put it 50 metres down the field, and sets up another line-out pressure opportunity for Scotland.
Fergus Scott, the skipper, feeds. Good play by Christie. And Colin Young, look at him go, the left winger. He's got a play on his left.
Oh.
Beautiful. Gregor Christie, what an amazing try and what an amazing response for Scotland clubs.
Really brilliant response there from Scotland. They brought their left winger in off the back of the line out, and he dropped him in a hole. He showed real gas to get into the hole and get in behind Scotland and played the Scottish 9. Gregor Christie, and he just beat one of the Irish players into the corner there for a really good try. So back to all square in this game, and that lead is cut again for Ireland.
Exceptional there from Christie and Young, working in tandem off that line out. And now Aaron McColm, his place kicking wasn't good last week with 1 out of 3, and he has the chance here to take Scotland clubs into the lead. Absolutely incredible, not a point scored for about 20 minutes, and then 2 tries in the space of a minute or 2. McColm converts with certainty. What a kick that was.
Fantastic kick there by McColm, right on the touchline, right on the edge. And for some reason he didn't move the flagpole either, which was interesting. Had to run around the flagpole over there to get to his kick. So really excellent kick. So Ireland got to respond here now quickly.
James Taylor and Christie, the try scorer. And Muir, the prop forward, playing at halfback that time. And Scotland, will this give them a sense of belief now? On the 22. McColm. Jamie Heuston, licking his lips, trying to set off on a journey here. And Ireland clubs looking to hit back. It's Fitzgerald. And here, identifying some space for Colm Hogan.
Lucky, Aran Hehir looking really sharp there around the breakdown. Again, Jamie Heuston's having a really good game. Very strong carry back into the Scottish defence. Covering the ground really quickly. And Aran Hehir picked from the breakdown and went around the corner. He was quite unlucky. Colm Hogan, if his kick had stayed in field, it would have put a lot of pressure on Scotland. But again, a line out in their own 22. Scotland won't want to be down this end of the field.
All on here in Dublin at Energy Park. And Fergus Scott to deliver. It's scrappy at line-out time. All over the place. And either clubs now have an opportunity to regain their lead.
It's great pressure. The Scottish line-out is under real pressure, actually, from all three. John Foley, Bryan, Hayes, Melia, and Alan Kennedy. They've got them under real pressure. They seem to be able to read where the ball's going. Like every line-out they've won hasn't been that clean, so that's a real problem for Scotland at the moment, because the one line-out they did win, they've actually scored off. So the one line-out they've won clean. So it's got to be a source of concern for the Scottish coaching staff, I would think.
Aran here with the feed. And Ireland clubs make use of it. Not the greatest momentum off the back there through Derham. And he has Foley, really been a standout so far. Hehir skips the pass there to Taylor. And now Heuston hitting the line. It's also been a menace in this fixture. It's Keating, the tight head prop. He loves the carry. And Ryan hitting the line there at speed. Hehir, that's a good ball there to Taylor. And Fitzgerald still going, looking for the offload. Heuston hitting the short line, really close. Ireland looking to cash in now. So close. And we come back for the penalty. What will the decision here be?
Looked like a double movement, Justin, didn't it? Like, I think he was playing penalty advantage, and then there was a double movement. I think the Irish probably got the ball over the line, but the right decision there, I think, to go for the corner, keep the pressure on. It's hard to make up a 22-point deficit when you're in your own 22, 5 minutes from your line.
Conor Maguire just giving the message to the hooker there. And Max Abbott. Bryan Hayes is the receiver. If Scotland get out of trouble here, it'll be impressive. But Ireland are making so many meters off this maul now. Really close. Try time it is. What a score for Ireland clubs. And the perfect response too.
Very tidy by Melia there, because Scotland had a really good sack on the initial catch by Bryan Hayes, but every line-out ball that Ireland are winning is really clean. Again, like led by Bryan Hayes and having those options around Paul Derham, John Foley, Melia, they're just so good in the air. So they've won a really clean ball, got a good maul set up, but the sack was good from Scotland, but then Ireland regenerated and went again, and Melia just popped off on the open side. Over he went. Really deserved for him. Delighted for him. He's an excellent player and a really good, really strong member of the group. Really is very kind of interactive with everybody. He wants to gel everybody together. He's a really good character. So I'm delighted for him.
Melia, the try scorer, also has played in the previous 5 games, which is quite exceptional. So Taylor, still unsuccessful at goal. And that one is much better. So Ireland clubs 12, Scotland clubs 7.
Again, it's important restart here for from Scotland. They want to make sure they exit clean here, depending on where Scotland kick from. But really good. They look really dangerous when they get inside the Scottish 22, so that's really positive.
McColm. Easy one again. Heuston. He's got a really big boot. And that ball's not out. Here's the dangerous player in Mollison. It's a great kick and chase. And Heuston lets it go again.
Really good, really massive boot by Jamie Heuston. He's got a huge right foot on him actually. And then Mollison came back with the ball, put up a huge kick himself, and they got good chasers underneath it and won it back. So Scotland scrum just inside the Irish half here. So dangerous back line. So we'll see how they can, if they can muster anything here. It's going to be, they're going to have to score next for me.
Gregor, Christie to feed. And Scotland clubs need a big scrum here.
Yeah.
And they get the penalty, Scotland clubs. So an opportunity to have a shot at goal or kick for the corner.
I think they got a kick for the corner, don't they? I think they're the Irish clubs are probably quite unlucky there. I think it was a really solid scrum, and actually the scrums have been pretty steady and pretty even. So I think that it just kind of whipped on momentum there, and Scottish probably stayed more square than the Irish, and that's why they got the penalty. But referee decided against Ireland, so now Scotland have a chance inside the Irish 22. Big pressure line out though.
So Fergus Scott, the captain of Scotland clubs, needs to get a good line out. And it looked like it started well, and Ireland clubs let off the hook again, Morgan.
Well, it's interesting. Like, they won that one cleanly. That's the first one they've actually won clean, and then they seem to they were looking to set them all, and they seemed to just make a mess of it as the transfer came on the floor. But good pressure by Andrew Keating, got through and made the Scottish guy who was trying to clean it up, made him knock the ball on. So Irish scrum. Again, nice clean exit here, hopefully. Got plenty of kicking options with Jamie Heuston, James Taylor, Aran Hehir. So they've got plenty of exit options here, so hopefully they can get the ball away nice and clean.
So Scotland had a lot of problems at line-out time last week in Edinburgh. Hehir and Fitzgerald says, give it to me. Making some good meters there, the inside centre. And Hehir back for Taylor.
Oh.
And that's a healthy touch finder by the fly-off.
They're gone though. Scotland are gone here early. It was a really good exit by, really good carry by Bryan Fitzgerald.
Good thinking by Scotland clubs. It was an exceptional kick by Taylor. And they look like they've been overruled here. Ireland clubs with a great turnover, and there's numbers aplenty here on the left. It's Fitzgerald now. And Heuston. Jamie Heuston. And perhaps not the correct decision there, Morgan.
Right, a fantastic counter ruck there by Paul Derham, to be fair, and he was joined in spades by a couple of other members of his pack. Really fantastic turnover, which meant Ireland could go wide. Just very unlucky, Jamie Heuston put his foot down, went through a hole, and the Scottish guy, I thought, actually got his hand in the way, and it looked to me like it might have been a deliberate knock-on, but the referee's given a knock-on Scrum Ireland, I believe. Be a bit of a break. There's a Scottish injury, so. But the exit before Scotland went quick was really excellent. Bryan Fitzgerald carried the ball really hard. A fantastic clear out by Pa Ryan, and then back to James Taylor, and really tidy, well organised, well coached exit there from what 10 metres out from their own goal line. A fantastic kick by James again, but Scotland decided to go quick, which was probably the right decision.
Nathaniel Colm just getting some treatment. And Tuel Chanini, the referee today, just checking with his officials there for that call. So Ireland clubs in a promising part of the field.
Really
identified the space there really well.
Really good attacking opportunity, left-hand scrum, the whole field to play with, a whole back line lined out here, ready to go for Ireland.
It's a great scrum there by Island Clubs. Taylor, Ryan hitting the board pace. Matthew Byrne has got a lot of room here. Colm Hogan going for try number 2, but he's into touch. Exceptional defence there by Scotland Clubs.
Good scramble defence, all right. Great tackle in the corner by Mollison again. He's been very good during the game so far, but really good attack by Ireland. Got into the space on the outside of the 13, and Colin Hogan was put away down the edge by Matt Byrne. Very good attack. I'd expect big pressure now, line out wise here.
Fergus Scott going for the simple option there. An argument could be made to do that rather closer to the Irish try line. Christie looking to relieve some pressure, and they're not out of the woods here yet, Morgan.
No, definitely not. I don't think so at all. But clever line out to get themselves out of jail. They obviously recognised they were under pressure in the air, so just threw it to the man at the front standing. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to go with that 4-man option again. Oh, it looks like a 5-man.
This is the time where you do not want to give away points. Approaching half-time. Scrappy again. The lineouts are dismal at the moment. And a massive hit there by Melia. And Vernal with the carry. Christie.
Ooh.
Back to McColm. And if in doubt, kick it out.
Huge pressure by the Irish back row there. That was Derham, Foley, Melia all chasing hard. Melia put in a huge shot on the Scottish player who kind of picked up the scrappy line out, and then Derham and Foley really chasing the Gregor Christie down, who's kicking the ball into touch, and put him under huge pressure, so he didn't get that much of a gain. So another really good attacking opportunity. Ireland are gone for a 5-man line out.
Abbott. The Ireland lineouts have been superb, but that was scrappy by Derham and picked up well there by Ryan, the outside centre. Conor Maguire, the loose head prop. Hehir, Taylor, and Melia, the try scorer. Off that maul earlier, Taylor and Hayes now in the outside channels. You don't often find them out there. Hehir, Taylor, Foley, beautiful line, exceptional, and Heuston in support. Hehir and Foley, and he almost couldn't believe he got the ball again. And Ireland have to scanter back to retain possession. And Kennedy, the skipper. Taylor. Well, that is quite brilliant.
James just knows when to, and Ireland were on the back foot, just got a bit scrappy, and Ireland were on the back foot. James had a look up and just popped the ball into a load of space in behind the Scottish defence, turned them around and put that line out under more pressure again. The difference right now is just that, really, I feel, is that line out. I think it's just been outstanding for Ireland, and the Scottish line out is consistently under pressure. So it's just a source of ball that Ireland are comfortable with, and the Scottish are most definitely not comfortable with theirs. So it'll be interesting to see whether Ireland can get a turnover here now.
Fergus Scott to throw.
Oh.
And they go for something complex that time, and it's really not working at line-out time. Being carried over from last week. And Ireland clubs looking to put down the hammer before half-time. It's Fitzgerald. Superb line once more to Fitzgerald. Superb play by Ireland clubs. It's Hehir. And Derham with so much strength. Really close. Ireland clubs in a serious mood out here. They carry again. The pick and go. Hold up, some good defense and some good attack as well.
Oh, they'll be disappointed not to have got a score just before half time. Another really good steal by Melia at the back of the line out. And a great carry by Bryan, a great offload by Ryan to Bryan Fitzgerald. Really excellent half though. Really good game of rugby.
So that's half time. Island Clubs 12, Scotland 7. Back at Energia Park. Island Clubs making their way out onto the field after a decent first half performance through 2 tries through Colm Hogan and Melia. And Morgan, what does Scotland Clubs have to do here?
I think they've got to tidy up their line out. I know probably that's something that I've been talking about during the first half. I think they've to tidy up their line out to try and get some real quality first phase possession. To be honest with you, Ireland would probably be a little bit disappointed with themselves because I think they could have had a potentially 2 other scores. Should have been a score just before half time. They got held up over the line. So I think they'll be looking to kick on now and really put some pressure on Scotland and finish this out in the first 20 minutes of this half. And I'd expect to see some changes as well, maybe within 10 minutes or so to kind of freshen it up, because playing 2 games at this level in quick succession is going to be physically demanding. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of energy they bring to the first 20 minutes right now and see if they can get another score up, and it'll be pretty much over then.
McColm to get the second half underway here. And well taken by Colin Hogan, the right winger. Scored the opening try of the fixture this evening. It's Foley again. He doesn't have an off switch, this open side flanker. In fact, the whole loose trio of Island Clubs, it's Keating in that time. And Hehir and Hayes. And Colin Hogan looking to recover from that error there. And Island Clubs get an easy penalty.
Yeah, clever by Aran Hehir. Just tripped over the Scottish player, was on the wrong side. Got himself a penalty, lifts the pressure immediately. So it's not the way Scotland wanted to start. Brian Hayes was very keen to get his hands on the ball there. I think he saw an opportunity to go up and down the touchline.
So Abbott to feed. And Island Clubs now with a 27 points in aggregate above Scotland Clubs. But they can't afford to get complacent. And Hehir beats one. He's got a lot of lion in him. He's the talented scrum half. Melia, this time the open side flanker. The blind side flanker, should I say. Taylor and Hogan hitting the line. Some good possession and ball retention here by Island Clubs. A lot of numbers on the right. Taylor looking to bust through the line. Making good meters here. It's Conor Maguire. A little bit of a dummy there for the prop. He's still going. Wasn't hold. Great offload to Abbott. And Melia now. Some exceptional play. Pops it to Derham. And Kennedy. Chopper. Chopper is still going. And what an offload there to Foley. Really good play. Enjoying themselves out there. Oh, Island Clubs. Hehir, Taylor. Superb line there by Byrne. And Derham now. Really so tough. Kennedy, the skipper. Island Clubs looking to strike. Keating. Very fancy there. Ryan. Hands have been really good They've gone 80 metres already. Here's Heuston. Silken slippers there by the fullback. Hehir goes on the short side. Keating, Foley. Wow, everything out there, Morgan.
Top quality play there. Really fantastic attack started by Conor Maguire, who made an incredible carry and a great offload off the ground. Led to about 2 or 3 more offloads, and a really lovely round the back ball by Andrew Keating. So the both props getting involved. Just a bit unlucky, got a bit rushed. They got a good clear out of midfield where I actually thought they'd lost the ball, but as they came around the corner, just a little bit of sloppy handling, and got the ball back for Scotland. So it's a knock on and a scrum to Scotland, but excellent play by Ireland. Really, really great attack.
The interplay as well between forwards and backs that time, really impressive.
I think the work rate is exceptional, actually. Straight after half time, it's just what you want to see. Your pack working so hard to get to the breakdown. People carrying hard, being physical, looking for offloads, getting on the shoulders of each other, really working hard for each other, and that's what you want to see as from a coaching perspective, is that they're still in that mindset that they want to finish this game out.
And Morgan, how tough is it as a coach to, bring players from all around the country and get them to gel in 2 weeks?
I think the buy-in from the players is the really exceptional thing. I mean, the players come to wherever the sessions are. I mean, they have 4 Sunday sessions. Most of them have played AIL against each other, so they've been beating lumps out of each other on a Saturday. They come together on a Sunday, and they just want to be there. They want to be involved. This is a particularly young group as well. There's a bit of sprinkling of experience there, but it's a particularly young group, so the enthusiasm, I believe, has been fantastic. And they're coming up to a couple of the best coaches in the country in Garryowen, Prendergast and James Blaney. So, why wouldn't you want to be there, I suppose? So I think it's not as difficult as it might seem, I think,
Pressure scrum here for Scotland clubs. They got to get this one right. And they get it more than right, because they get a penalty and a chance to exit. And they're quite pumped there. Oh, the Scottish forward pack.
Yeah, Andrew Keating got himself under a bit of pressure there. He was quite high, and your man and the Scottish loosehead kind of got around out the outside of him, which put him under significant pressure, and Scotland got the penalty and relieve it now. So this is not the first line out of the second half. We'll see if Scotland have had a conversation about their line out at half time and if they can win this clean.
Scotland in the fixture last week, they controlled the first 30 minutes of the second half. And at one stage was a 5-point ball game in the second half. Beautifully done by Christie. And can you believe it again? It's Young, the left winger. Callum Young, he's still going. So deadly. Off Christie. The halfback's there. And that's offside.
Could be in trouble here, Justin. He could be in trouble here. I think he might be going to the bin. That's a bit disappointing from Ireland. That was exactly the same play that they got, that Scotland scored.
That could change it all, Morgan.
Incredibly, though, Scotland have decided to go for posts here. But it was the exact same play that Scotland scored with in the first half. And Callum Young made a big line break again. So that's his running meters stats are high now from that second line break there. But unfortunately, he couldn't find a support runner. And Ryan shot out of the line, got himself offside, and consequently got sin-binned.
It's also Ireland club's third yellow card in the space of a week. 2 last week and 1 this evening. So McColm to narrow the gap to 2. McColm knocks it over. It's a 2-point ball game out here at Energia Park in Dublin. Ireland clubs 12, Scotland clubs 10.
It's all in Ireland's hands, really. I think they look the more dangerous side. Just need to tidy that line-out defence up a little bit at the back of the line-out. I would expect this kick-off to go deep here. Let Ireland try and pin them down in their own half, in their own 22. Put some pressure on down there.
What a contest it's been so far. And well taken by Scotland clubs. Nathaniel Cole that time. Christie looks on the short side and then comes on the open side. Looking to find the big men. Christie to Wallace Nolson, the open side flanker. And Christie testing Ireland under the high ball, and he finds Heuston. Looking to play in Irish territory, and Keating with a dummy. Taylor to loose pass to Fitzgerald, who does well to pick it up, and he beats one. He beats two. Beautiful play up. Colm Hogan, the right winger. He is electric out there. Pops it to Fitzgerald. Hehir and Heuston hitting the short line once more. Hehir, Taylor, and Kennedy, the captain. Island clubs looking in the mood. Taylor and Hayes, Matthew Byrne. Really good play. Keating, Panda, looking to get the offload away, and a bit too much that time. And Scotland clubs, well, they probably can't believe it either.
Fantastic play by Bryan Fitzgerald there, to be fair to him. Made a really good break. Picked up a ball off the floor, got himself go forward, made a break. Great ball to Colm Hogan, who really went down the line at pace, carrying two fellas with him. Appears to be an injury here, blood injury. But Andrew Keating looked like he'd actually nearly got over the line, but kind of forced an offload and unfortunately went on the floor. So again, another chance kind of gone for Ireland. They could be out of sight really in this game, to be quite honest, if they'd taken their chances. So Scotland are right in it.
Colin Sturgeon is on the field now for Scotland. Scored a try last week. Also started the fixture last week. And Tuel Tranini, the referee today, done a great job. Referees a lot of the top 14.
It's part of the experience for the lads actually is having a foreign referee who may not speak fluent English and learning how to communicate with him during the game and what his nuances are. I think it's a really important that's part of the learn, as I say, part of the learning experience for some of these young players that may not have had that experience before.
Replacement Robin Sesford, number 19 for Scotland, coming out onto the park. And really, Morgan, this is all what you wanted. 2-point ball game out here, anyone's game. Yeah,
it's absolutely. The Scots have really made it a contest with putting themselves back in the game there with a penalty just about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Ireland are back down the field here now they're defending a scrum 5 metres out from the Scottish line. Scotland are going to look to go clean here and try and exit quickly, I would think. But so Ireland should be still in and around the 22, I would think, by the time the Scottish exit. So they'll have a good attacking platform.
So Scotland clubs under the pump here, and they need a good exit, and they also need to take advantage of this one man advantage here. The yellow card to Ryan, the outside centre. A lot of pressure on Scotland clubs, looking to keep composed, but they're really under pressure here. They're not where they want to be.
Oh.
But they do get a penalty. Scotland clubs. Ill discipline there, Morgan.
Yeah, that's too easy, really. Bryan will be disappointed with himself there. Just straight offside. Got a bit jumpy around the edge of the breakdown. They had them under pressure. They weren't going to go too far away from the goal line, and the Ireland clubs are giving away a penalty, which allows Scotland an easy exit. The Irish scrum has come under a little bit of pressure in the last couple of scrums. Scotland have a penalty, and then that one seemed to collapse on the tight head side. So it'll be interesting to see if the Irish can fix that. I'm sure there's some subs looking like they're going to warm up here and come on.
So Scotland clubs emptying out the tank here. And will that make an impact? They did this last week and they controlled that first 30 minutes in the second half. So they have a good collective 23. A dismal line out again. And the opposite number, Abbott, says, I'll take that. Melia now. He's an absolute animal. The blindside flanker. And here it's gone back. Derham. And then Abbott knocks it on. It's a circus out there, Morgan.
Yeah, it's a bit untidy, isn't it? Scotland's line out still struggling, and then Ireland get a turnover. Max Abbott cleaned it up really nicely, got a good carry, but unfortunately went back in the blind side, and a loose pass was dropped by Max. Loose pass by Paul Derham was dropped by Max Abbott, so a little bit disappointing. I would think the changes are about to be rung here by the coaching staff. Ryan Murphy looks like he's about to come on. Very good ball carrier. Going to get some momentum for Ireland again, hopefully.
Patrick Boyer to feed. Scotland clubs. What will the call be here? Very much still in it. And Bickerstaff now. Hasn't had many opportunities, the right winger.
Oof.
An early collision for Rhys Davis, and a great tackle there by Fitzgerald. And Sturgeon, the new man that time. And that's gone forward. Ireland clubs now with a chance to make something from this.
It does look like some of the bodies are getting tired out there now. Again, the pressure of playing over these 2 weekends at this level makes it difficult. So it does look like there's some tired looking bodies. And again, that scrum was under pressure from Scotland, had the Irish scrum under pressure. So I would think freshening it up might not be a bad idea here, but this is a good attacking opportunity here now. Just get to swing the momentum back Ireland's way.
So here to feed. So how serious are Ireland clubs? The opportunity to close the game out. Derham. Just add some comfort into that scoreline, and they got the free play as well. Conor Maguire, the prop forward.
Really good carry by Paul off the back of the scrum. Channel one ball straight into his hands. He got around the corner really quickly and soaked up a high tackle from the Scottish blindside. So just what Ireland needed, really, to be honest, at that stage of the game. Down the corner by James Taylor. So about 10, 15 metres out from the touchline. From the goal line even. It's been really interesting. As I say, the Irish line-out's been really, really functional, really, really accurate. So I would think there's a maul coming here.
Massive moment in the game. They've only leaked 3 points since the yellow card, and they have an opportunity to score a try. And the maul is looking good. The free play as well. Abbott is at the back. The hooker pops it to Kennedy, the captain. Ireland clubs, can they strike? Derham. Island clubs loose forwards have been superb. Melia, Taylor, and Hogan now. Hehir comes on the right, Aran Hehir. The tough scrum off, such a menace as well. Taylor, Keating, looking to get the offload away there, and it's another penalty in Scotland clubs. Well, somebody might go to the dog box here. It's all going down here, Morgan.
A bit of a discussion between the Scottish replacements and Jamie Heuston there. I'm not sure they had too many niceties to say to each other, but you know, big pressure from Ireland here at the moment. As I say, if they can get one more score, I think they'll probably open up a little bit. But really good maul, and they got a free play off it straight away. Got a penalty off it straight away, and we're looking to go quickly, but they're going down the line here again anyway. And Pa Ryan's about to re-enter the field too, so going to be back to their full complement. So 3 points within that 10 minutes isn't such a bad thing, really. Great kick by James Taylor right in the corner.
Well, Garryowen, Brendan Gast, you'll be delighted with these last 8 or 9 minutes with a player in the dog box.
Three really good performances there. Max Abbott's come off. Really excellent. I thought his throwing was really accurate in the line out, linking up with his club man Brian Hayes and Michael Melia as well. Really, the line out was excellent, to be fair.
Melia with a good take and a good throw there by Clarkin. Island clubs have been enjoying them all. Getting the green engine going. Beautiful stuff. The pick and go. Agonizingly close here for Island clubs. They want to close out the game. Hogan lets it go. And Taylor trying to find a gap. It's Hehir and Maguire. Hehir, great line. Superbly done.
Passes
But
forward, unfortunately.
we are coming back here for something in back play.
Referees had enough. Too many penalties in too close to the line by Scotland, and send another one to the bin. So they've got them under real pressure here at the moment. I think there's only one decision to be made here, is going to the corner again.
Well, this is where Island clubs, Morgan, they have to kill the game out. A lot of
absolutely.
opportunities.
I think Garryowen will be disappointed that they haven't actually. They're not 2 scores in front, to be honest with you. It's they've had a lot of opportunity down here now, particularly in the last 8-9 minutes. So I think this one now, Scotland are down to 7 in the pack. So again, accurate line out here, get them all set and have a go.
So Adam Clarkin. First line out was good. Second one good as well, taken by Hayes.
Brilliant take by Brian Hayes.
And Clarkin at the back. Can he get a score? Clarkin at the back. Scotland clubs with great defence. Fitzgerald, the inside centre. And Hehir has to dig. And another penalty after penalty.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't gone to the bin there again, because that's very, very cynical play where he just knocked the ball out of Aran Hehir's hands, and Ireland have decided to go for the posts.
Take the points on offer. But one would expect, for the amount of minutes there, Morgan, that they spent inside the 22 to come away with a 5 or 7 pointer.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I mean, taking the points only actually puts them 5 in front, so Scotland are still within a score. So I think, you know, Scotland are down to 14. I think probably I would have kept the pressure on there, and you'd be looking for Alan Kennedy maybe to make a slightly braver decision and keep going after them. That's multiple penalties now in within 5 meters of the goal line, so I'm sure James Taylor will slot this without thinking about it.
Taylor, simple stuff, but the game is really on. Coghlan Murphy is on for Ireland clubs, player 23. 15-10. What a contest it's been. And this game is far from over.
Most definitely. Sam Coghlan-Murray comes on for his teammate Matt Byrne. Now Sam Coghlan-Murray's got some serious pace about him, so being out here in the Astro will probably suit him, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Good take there by Hogan. And Melia lets it go. He spills the pull. And Scotland clubs now, they are right where they want to be.
Yeah, definitely. That's a little bit sloppy on the exit there. And allowed Scotland a good scrum position here to unleash the Bickerstaff boys here, who have been a real threat all evening and in the game last week too.
Scott White, the head coach of Scotland clubs, well, you're on his side to take advantage of this now. Of course, Scott White was captain of that Scottish victory in the Sevens back in 2016 in the London Sevens, and that victory over South Africa.
Oh, what a great
penalty
scrum.
to Ireland clubs. Will that change the momentum?
Fantastic scrum by Conor Maguire. Got it right up on the loose head side and put them under real pressure, and referees called it as a wheel, so really good relieving penalty, and that's been Scotland's problem all evening really. They've had Ireland under pressure around the 22 and they've given up cheap penalties quite a bit, so Ireland are getting out of jail pretty in a fairly straightforward manner.
So Clarkin, it's been impressive since he's come onto the park. Good delivery at line-out time, and it's good once more. Hehir and Taylor. Skip ball there to Ryan, and here's Colm Hogan now. He's got jet shoes. And it's play on, yeah. Great skill there, and can you believe it? It's Sam Coghlan-Murphy with the try.
Really good work by Colm Hogan. Actually, I think it looked like he kicked the ball away, but it actually took a funny bounce in field off the 4G, and Sam Coghlan-Murray got in the end of it. But again, all came from really clean, really accurate line-out possession from Ireland on the halfway line, or just inside their own half, and good accurate passing out to Colm Hogan round the back, and Sam has done what he does, which is finish tries.
Big replacement here as well now for Ireland clubs. Peter Claffey on the field. So Taylor. Pinpoint accuracy from the fly-off.
James has found his range, I think. He's his last couple of kicks have been really excellent, so he's found his range now.
So what do Scotland clubs have back? What do they have in them? Do they have a response?
Jerry Hurley's just come on to be the most ever capped Irish clubs international. think he broke the record this evening. Come on for James Taylor at 10.
That's a massive moment. Jerry Hurley making his 12th appearance, the record. Exceptional. Derham now. And Island clubs looking to do what they did last week. Yes, Claffey, the big flanker. Here, Hurley. Ryan looking to open the gap. Ryan still going. Amazing stuff by Pa Ryan. Island clubs looking for their 4th try. Hurley and Claffey once more. Hehir, Aran Hehir. A good line there as well, but decided to take contact. Conor Maguire. Really worked hard. Coghlan finds Hayes. The lock forward. And Derham again. How many carries has he made? Here to Coghlan. A bundle of energy. Derham. Scotland clubs trying to get the turnover, and they do. Superb. Never say die attitude.
Great turnover by Scotland.
But Island clubs won't mind that.
No, still here. Still right on the 22. Still looking again for another clean line out possession. A really good break by Pa Ryan there to get them deep inside the 22. Just a little bit more accuracy and Ireland would have scored.
Really being effective at line-out time. Good tap back there from Hayes. And Hurley, you'll look to enjoy himself. And Scotland clubs. So will they try run this one? Deep inside their own half. Time is of the essence here. They need 2 quick tries. They're not out of this. Interesting decision to clear Heuston. Jamie Heuston. Interesting tackle there. Hehir works the short side. Good carry. Hurley. Coghlan. Great hands. And the dummy there from Ryan. Has a lot of confidence as the outside centre. And Hogan. And Claffey. Putting his head down. Coghlan getting heavily involved. Taking his chance well this evening. Claffey. Hehir to Kennedy. So much brutality there. Unforced error. And Young, he's got plenty of speed. And Hurley, the old bullet going back there. Superb stuff from the record breaker. And Island clubs, what will they do? Will they decide to clear or have a bit of fun? Coghlan. Composed stuff from Hehir, but it's not his best touch finder.
No, but it's I suppose it's just relieving the pressure again. I suppose a little unforced error by the Ireland clubs there, and then suddenly they found themselves deep inside their 22. But I think the subs have made a difference for Ireland. Actually, the energy levels have increased. There's a good tempo about what they're trying to do. Adam Clarkin's had a big impact actually on the game, as is Claffey. they've come in and they've added carrying and energy, and it's just been really positive from that perspective from the coaching staff. Great to have a man at Jerry Hurley's experience coming on at 10 as well to finish out the last 15 minutes or so.
Carrier with the feed. So Scotland clubs trying to give Ireland clubs a taste of their own medicine. And if they strike now, it'll really get interesting. Can you believe it?
I'm back.
And there it is for Scotland clubs. An important try. And they are definitely not out of this, Morgan.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. If they kick this, it's going to be a 5-point ball game again. So it's going to be tight coming in to the last few minutes here. And interestingly, very similar situation to last year, where they got themselves back in the game from being dead and buried, and scored a couple of tries in the last few minutes. But that's very similar to today now. Hopefully Ireland can find the energy now to win this kick-off and get themselves back down the field.
So Sturgeon. Beautiful kick there. It's a 5-point ball game here, Morgan.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's been a real titanic battle throughout the game. So, to be honest, Scotland probably deserves that on the whole scheme of things over the particularly in their sort of first half performance. It's going to be an exciting last few minutes. Two good performers coming off here, Conor Maguire and Colm Hogan, both very good throughout the game.
Jerry Hurley, he's got an important job to do now in his 12th cap. The game is very much alive here at Energia Park. The up and under, and it's beautifully taken by Scotland clubs. Exceptional. They've got an overlap here. Bickerstaff. The race is on. And Bowden, the replacement player, meets a hard Scottish defence. And Ireland clubs can't probably believe where they're finding themselves at the moment, under pressure. Who wants it more? Hehir and Scotland clubs, they have a perfect opportunity here.
They're nearly in an identical position to where they scored their try from 60 seconds earlier. Aran Hehir, just those two last clearances haven't gained as much distance as the previous ones, the ones earlier in the game. So they're just under a bit of pressure here now. They just need to find some big moment here. One of their leaders has to find a big moment to kind of change the momentum of this game.
Carrier to feed. Another unforced error at line-out time, and it's really costed them in these 2 weeks, Morgan.
I was just about to comment on the fact that their line-out had suddenly started to work, and that's probably how they got themselves into the game. And unfortunately, they double bluffed themselves there a bit, and the referees free kicked them.
Made sure of it that time. Not long to go now.
Still a Scottish ball though, only a free kick, so it's a Scottish ball. So they've got a moment here.
Carrier. And can you believe it? How many lineouts have they lost?
But again, you know, credit to Ireland. It's coming from pressure from the Irish players. Bryan, Hayes, Mick, Melia, Paul Derham's picked up a few around the back. It really is coming from pressure, you know, and while they're in space, the Irish players are just getting up into this space in front of them and making the hooker have to throw the ball over them, which is an incredibly difficult skill at the best of times.
Kennedy, the captain, has had a good shift. Either clubs have plenty of numbers here. Flat defensive line, massive overlap. Good play from Barrett. Corey Barrett. Here, Hurley and Claffey, tackled by Young. So physical out there. Another hard carry and massive hit. I think they felt that around the country. Massive hits on Coghlan there.
Absolutely incredibly physical the last 3 or 4 phases.
Hurley, Fitzgerald taking contact. Coghlan has stayed down in back play. And a penalty to Scotland. And that's what comes from pressure hits like that.
Scotland have just seemed to up the ante a little bit in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They just seem to found a new level of physicality. Not tackling Alan Clark in the midfield is absolutely brutal. And then Alan Kennedy carried the ball there straight into brick wall pretty much. So it's been incredibly physical the last 3 or 4 minutes. But Clark looks like he's okay. He's just a bit winded.
Scotland clubs with perhaps one last chance here. Converted try will do it. And of course, Island clubs way ahead in terms of points. Of course, if both teams win a game, then it is decided on aggregates. And at the moment, Island clubs are 27 points in the bag ahead of Scotland clubs.
The Dalriada Cup is staying in Dublin, all right. There's no question about that. But this game's not done yet, and I think the Irish team will want to win both games. I think that was a huge focus for us last year. We were very disappointed to draw the second game, but Scotland have really they've not come here to lose this game, and that's for sure.
Great take there by Gregor Law. There must be something in the air, and there must be something in the air for the past week or so with the Scottish lineouts just not going their way at all.
Yeah, that's just not tidy enough. The coaching staff will be really pulling their hair out there. They won the ball clean again for a rare enough occasion. They won the ball clean, but then to lose the ball as they set up the maul on the transfer is incredibly disappointing. Now it has been kind of showers on and off, so it makes the surface from the ball very greasy on the 4G. But for Scotland to be that inaccurate there is very disappointing. That was their big opportunity.
So we'll have a reset. And this game has really had everything. Morgan, plenty of tries to shout about, also in difficult conditions, especially in the first half with the rain.
Yeah, it's been an excellent game. Really physical. It dipped sort of maybe 10 minutes in the middle of the second half, but it's been a really excellent game. Both sides have thrown everything at it to try and win the game. It's been incredibly physical. Scotland are going to get another chance.
Is there a twist in the tail here? One last chance. Nerve-wracking times.
New front row for Ireland, and the scrum was a little unsteady and gone for a scrum. And the scrum's been a bit of a lottery all day, really. There's been penalties for both sides and free kicks for both sides. So Scotland will want this nice and steady and see what they can get out of it.
This will really hurt Island clubs Scotland clubs now looking to pierce the heart. It's their game to win or to draw. Scotland clubs. Scrum is messy at the back. Pickerstaff running straight and hard. It's now or never for Scotland clubs. Boyer at halfback. Pickerstaff again with an impressive carry. This is why the game is played. So tight in the final minutes out here at Energia Park. Carrier that time, the hooker. And it's been poached by Island clubs. It's the skipper, Kennedy. Chopper with an enthusiastic carry. Perhaps he knows that's the moment. Hurley. And the game is still alive here. Crazy scenes. And our Scotland clubs have to go 50 metres.
Oh, they've relieved some pressure, but Ireland have relieved some pressure, but Scotland have got another opportunity now.
Scotland clubs. The players on the left. And Bickerstaff. And the free play as well for Scotland clubs.
Touch judges awarded a penalty for a high tackle by Brian Hayes.
And you can feel the crowd getting itchy around the stadium here, Morgan.
The showers started to come down just at the right time for Ireland, to be honest. Again, an average enough kick there by Scotland, so I fancy Brian Hayes having given away the penalty. I fancy him to win this line out against the head here now.
Scotland clubs haven't beaten Ireland clubs away from home since 2016. So history is not in their favour. But what they do have in their favour is a chance here. Boyer. And hitting the line hard there is Davis.
He's been good for Scotland since he's come on, actually. He's carried hard, been physical.
Sturgeon with a pop ball there to Bickerstaff. Do they believe, Scotland clubs? It's Carrier. Davis. Boyer. This is great play now by Scotland clubs. And all hole will break loose now if Scotland clubs score. It's Mollison, the fullback. Really so tight. And Law this time, the lock forward. Also been industrious in this fixture. Good interplay there by the front row. They work the short side to Bickerstaff. Getting close, Scotland clubs. And there it is for Ireland clubs. They get a penalty, and that might be enough.
Paul Derham, absolutely outstanding. He's one of the best in the business at that. Another turnover. He won 4 or 5 last week as well. But talk about a big moment in the game that you're looking for somebody to produce something, and Paul's won the game for Ireland.
And there it is. Jerry Hurley, the record breaker for the amount of appearances, kicks it out. Ireland clubs win 22-17 over Scotland clubs.